The Soviet military intelligence function, i.e., the GRU, are continuing their irradiation of me today. Indeed, I don't know what purpose this radiation serves, and I don't know why exactly the GRU are radiating me. Indeed, it's all quite interesting to consider because it's an impossibility that I am actually a threat to the GRU. I am just one lunatic, so I'm not entirely sure what purpose the radiating of me with psychotronic weapons by the GRU serves. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the GRU do not like me. Those Russian military intelligence guys do not like schizophrenics and basically operate certain networks against schizophrenics, such as the cleaners and other networks. The Russian military intelligence services are really sleazy and terrible people, coordinated by inner councils of Dommerk cultists, who are themselves interlinked with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. And this links all the way back to the insinuating brethren who are controlling the show, the Illuminati brotherhoods, who wish to basically coerce and control the entire planet in a psycho-civilized society. Indeed, it's interesting to note that Lee Harvey Oswald went through a Soviet brainwashing program. Indeed, there are also theories that there were several doubles of Lee Harvey Oswald, and that the activities of the CIA and the KGB regarding Lee Harvey Oswald were heavily interlinked. Indeed, it seems that Lee Harvey Oswald's wife, Marina, was a Soviet plant, and all sorts of very strange stuff went on around Lee Harvey Oswald and Marina Oswald. And it's also highly likely that during Lee Harvey Oswald's adenoid operation in Minsk, he was implanted with a microchip by scientists connected to the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst through the Russian intelligence services. So it's very interesting to consider. Indeed, the targeting of me by the GRU may actually be an overarching Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operation, therefore an operation of the Illuminati, i.e. the insinuating brethren. So it's all very interesting to consider how this all links up, and it's also actually very scary indeed. It seems that the GRU have an end game plan for me in Warminster in connection with networks of local Freemasons who connect also to the Warminster Police Department. Indeed, it seems all of these networks have a vested interest in me going crazy through being beamed out by radiation and then doing something crazy in the street whereby the psychocrats can return me to the British mental health system and I will potentially never be heard from again. Indeed, it's all a very interesting situation to consider. The insinuating brethren of the Illuminati now run the Masonic Lodge in Great Britain via networks of ritual operatives of the Ordo Templi Orientis, who are part of a long-range Bavarian Illuminati Nazi penetration intelligence operation, and they are coordinating the British Masonic Lodge system in concert with GRU operatives and KGB elements. All of these networks are interlinking to create a brotherhood of death, basically, that will soon begin the extermination of the mental patient population of the United Kingdom, either through microchipping or some sort of neutralization, which is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this is psychopolitics, Lavrenti Beria style psychopolitics, and the institution of an illuminist order in the West, coordinated by the insinuating brethren at the top levels through long-range Nazi intelligence penetration operations and long-range Soviet penetration operations. It's very interesting to consider the fate of the United Kingdom is being basically charted by networks of German and Russian and Hebrew psychiatrists who wish to psycho-civilize the West. Many of these operatives are acting in concert with psychiatrists in the United Kingdom and the United States and other NATO countries for exactly the same purpose. Indeed, the plan is that the British intelligence services, i.e. the MI5 security structure, will begin to have the powers of arrest in a similar way to how the KGB had the powers of arrest during the years of the Soviet Union. Indeed, MI5 will become basically a Ministry of State Security and will operate to hunt down psychological dissidents, i.e. anyone who thinks against the psychopolitical order will be locked up in some sort of gulag system, a psychiatric gulag system basically that the intelligence services of Britain wish to create, what with the intelligence services of Britain being 94% controlled by the GRU and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. So it's interesting to consider that this psychopolitical control over the intelligence structure of the United Kingdom will result in the roundup of dissidents and their placing in large psychiatric hospitals that will basically be a gulag system. So there will be a psychiatric gulag and dissidents will be basically brought into a zone of thought control. Indeed, it's interesting to note that the networks of Russian intelligence are known as the organs. This may have a direct connection to the organ trade. It may be a play on words. Indeed, the organ trade in Wiltshire is run by networks of interconnected butchers' shops who operate for the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst intelligence services through such satanic covens as the Order of Nine Angles and the Ordo Templi Orientis controlled British Masonic lodges. Indeed, the butcher shops around Wiltshire serve as conduits for an ongoing organ trade. Indeed, it seems that many of the targets of the Wiltshire organ traders are the homeless population of Wiltshire. Indeed, there have been mass disappearances of homeless people in Wiltshire in the past 15 years, and these homeless have been basically chopped up by the operatives of the Masonic lodges within the butcher's shops, and their meat has been sold as pork in the butcher's shops, and their organs have been transferred to various other locations. Indeed, it seems many of the Wiltshire homeless who have been neutralized, their organs have ended up in such countries as Russia to be sold on the vast mafia syndicates black market circuit in the Russian Federation. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider what has occurred, what with the KGB networks being known as the organs. So it seems that there has been an ongoing organ trade in Wiltshire since the 1950s, since the GRU and the KGB took control of respective percentages of Wiltshire and began their butcher shop organ harvesting network. Indeed, I first noticed this while I was in Devizes. Indeed, I had heard rumours that the butcher shops were part of the organ trade, but it wasn't confirmed to me until the butchers really started freaking out about my presence in the town, and therefore I figured it out that it's very strange that the butcher shop networks in Wiltshire that mutilate various victims and sell their organs on the black market. These networks are all run by the GRU and the KGB via Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst continuum operations. So it's all interlinking. And indeed, what with 94% of British intelligence being coordinated by the GRU and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. It's all very interesting. Indeed, there do seem to be interconnections with the British police as to these regards. Indeed, the operations of the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop in Devizes would not have been possible without the oversight by the Wiltshire police networks that basically coordinate the syndicates in that town. So it's all very interesting indeed. This does seem to have been a Russian military intelligence operation that I stumbled onto, what with the Russian military intelligence services having had control of Britain since the 1950s. Therefore, they control all the networks of local councillors and important people and the police departments in these small Wiltshire towns, which are headquarters of these butcher shop operations. So it's all very, very interesting to consider exactly what is going on, though I cannot work out exactly what is going on. I only have a vague idea, as I only have access to articles and documents from the public domain. Indeed, I do not have access to state secrets, so it's very difficult for me to really pursue what I'm doing at times. So I carry out my own human intelligence data collection on the small towns where I am dwelling, and then I figure out a theory on what is going on. I think this is what is causing a lot of the hostility towards me in Warminster. Indeed, they are probably afraid that I'm going to go for the organs in this town. However, as I've already carried out that operation in Devizes, it's very easy to basically figure out exactly what is going on, and that is an interconnectivity between Warminster Police Department, the C.J. Robbins Butcher's Shop, the centre of the mutilations for the organ trade, interconnecting with the Wyvern and Longleat Masonic lodges operating out of the Masonic Hall, who are connected to the network, in inverted commas, i.e. the Freemason intelligence agency that is now coordinated by the Order Templi Orientis, and the operations of the barber shop and kebab shop Mafiosi, all of whom are involved in this vast organ trafficking, organ harvesting, human slave trade. So it's all basically very heavily interconnecting. Indeed, my situation in this small town does worry me because I am in a rather vulnerable position and I am being irradiated by the GRU for a reason. And these networks of GRU have influence via Ordo Templi Orientis branches within the Masonic lodges over the psychiatrists that examine me. Indeed, many psychiatrists and neuroscientists examine me through my videos. As I've stated, do not be fooled by the low number of view counts. Indeed, I am also aware that Special Branch monitor my every online post, and they are interconnected with psychiatric networks also. So psychiatrists monitoring me attempt to figure out my mental state through my videos, and therefore they can probably decide from my videos whether or not I am a danger to myself or others, and therefore need to be returned to the British mental health system. Indeed, I am not a danger to myself, and I am not a danger to others, and I do not need to be returned to the British mental health system. I only want to be able to operate. But I imagine British intelligence are not too happy with me operating, because there are certain aspects within this town that British intelligence do not want me to focus on. I expect much of that has to do with the activities of the military base. Indeed, the military base may actually provide cover for the organ trade within this town. So it's possible. Indeed, I don't intend to focus on narcotics networks, as narcotics are merely a fact of life. It is the organ trade, the human slave trade, and the child trafficking trades that concern me, many of which are operative throughout Wiltshire, interconnecting with manor houses and Masonic lodges. Indeed, the manor houses around Wiltshire are known for being locations of rituals, many of which are rituals coordinated by the Masonic lodges, who are themselves Ordo Templi Orientis aligned and therefore illuminized, and therefore connected to the insinuating brethren who are overseeing this whole charade in the British countryside through their networks of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, long range Nazi intelligence strategy, and the KGB-GRU, Soviet long range intelligence strategy. So it's all very interesting how all of this is interlinking. How exactly the networks of the GRU are directly connected to the butcher's shop mafia, I do not know, but I'm working on this. And I've zeroed in on CJ Robbins as an interconnected network of this butcher shop mafia, basically, that are chopping up homeless people and serving their flesh to their customers as pork and selling the organs after harvesting them on the black market to, interestingly, many of the organs do seem to tend to end up with either the Russian mafia or the Albanian mafia, and therefore the organs are probably most likely transferred to institutes within the former communist countries and therefore sold to the highest bidder on the black market within those former communist countries. So it's all very interesting, and it's also interesting to note that the whole perestroika business was a deception, and that the Communist Party still runs the Russian Federation and most of its satellites, and indeed most of the other Eastern European, Warsaw Pact and Yugoslav and Albanian regimes still have the same intelligence structures that they had during the Cold War. And all of these intelligence structures are penetrated by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst and therefore by the insinuating brethren. So it all links up into a large global criminal cartel, basically, that is at the moment centered in Wiltshire, what with the GRU irradiating me and various networks of pro-Soviet operatives of defense intelligence from Porton Down and the Warminster military base who are after me for some reason. So I'm basically living in a rather crazy situation with gang stalkers everywhere. These gang stalkers are coordinated by defense intelligence operatives from the Warminster military base. Indeed, I believe that these gang stalkers have committed some sort of crime that they do not want the public to know about, and therefore they have been coerced into gang stalking me to attempt to intimidate me out of the town, so that I will no longer reside here and continue my operations from this town. However, I am made of tougher stuff than you realize, and I will not be going anywhere. So it's interesting to see how this will work out and what is going to happen, basically. Indeed, it's all a rather strange and scary concept, but it does seem to be that the GRU are running Wiltshire, and the Albanian mafia networks, who are the strongest mafia network in Wiltshire, do seem to be appendages of the GRU via, interestingly, the Chinese Ministry of State Security organs within the United Kingdom, as the Albanian mafia have many Maoist leanings, and therefore they are a key operation here. Indeed, many activities and riots are actually distractions so that the police will be confused by the riots, and therefore post-communist intelligence networks can carry out their organ trafficking, human trafficking, and body trafficking operations. So it's all very interesting how all of this stuff links up. Indeed, it's all rather scary what is going on in the United Kingdom at the moment. But we shall see what happens. I'm going to leave it there.